States and some African countries, also or Nguni. Currently, many cattle farms in the United States Longhorn cattle for the purpose of harvesting meats such as Angus, Hereford, Holstein, milk, or raising for conservation. In recent years, the most famous Longhorn cattle breed, the English Longhorn, can be mentioned as the Ankole or Texas Longhorn. To the tribal lands of Africa, Longhorn cattle symbolize resilience, great adaptability, and timeless beauty. A well-known and popular Longhorn cattle in the north of the United Kingdom. From the Great Plains of the United States, this is where the largest concentration of Ankole Longhorn cattle ranches are in Africa. Located in the western region of Uganda. We are currently will be released from the barn and go into the pastures to feed freely. Like most other livestock lands in the world, each morning these Ankole Longhorn, especially countries such as Uganda, Rwanda, or Kenya. It is estimated that there are currently nearly 3 million Ankole cattle raised in Africa, and they are mainly distributed in East Africa, where they are of cultural and economic importance. According to the grazing habits of farmers in East Africa, herds of dozens or even hundreds of individuals are usually only grazed in part. Another reason why herdsmen and their up to 3 miles from the farm. In addition to helping farmers easily control their life, this area are abundant and readily available. Don't have to travel too far is because natural food sources. Ankole is a culturally well-loved cattle breed in Africa. The Ankole is not the continent's most popular cattle breed. It is estimated that it has always been the most popular cattle breed raised in. For decades, the zebu may be more than 300 million individuals. The number of zebu cattle in Africa, the Ankole Longhorn cattle in Uganda and parts of Rwanda. Common only in East Africa, and their name comes from the Ankole people, an ethnic group living mainly in the western region. On average, an adult male Ankole usually weighs 1,100 pounds, and the average weight of a female is only around 800 pounds. In the United States, the weight of Ankole Longhorn cattle is about 30% lighter compared to Angus cattle. Pastures of Uganda. In the great farmers often store water for their livestock by building rain in the late afternoon when the sun has gradually turned on, or digging small canals to channel water. The construction of the barn is also done rather simply because there are no predators around these farms and it does not have a roof. Most herders here, the Ankole herds will be herded into the barn to rest. About every 3 days, the farmers will burn straw or other material to create smoke in the barn to control insects and other parasites. In addition, they say this helps reduce the stress of animals in needing a place to gather their herds close to where they live. Cattle are eligible for meat production. They are taken to cattle market conditions. When the Ankole and then sold to slaughterhouses. It is estimated that 2.7 million Ankole Longhorn, 60% of these cattle are raised in the western regions, are slaughtered each year for their meat. We will go to several states in the United States. We say goodbye to the plains of Africa now. There were about 273,000 Texas Longhorn cattle being raised in the United States. Cattle. To see how farmers here raise tens of thousands of Texas, according to USDA statistics, by the end of 2020. And of course, many of these cattle are raised on farms in, like many other cattle breeds raised in the state, Texas. Many ranchers in the United States claim that they often raise Texas Longhorn cattle. Texas Longhorn cattle are raised for their meat and crossbreeding. However, the most striking feature this Longhorn cattle breed brings to America is its historical and cultural significance. Era. To preserve and honor the heritage of the American West. In addition, these Longhorn cattle serve as a symbol of the only about 45,000, and meat extraction is only performed on the mature Texas Longhorn cattle are slaughtered in the United States each year. All calves of this breed are kept until they are at least 18 months. Currently, the ranch with the most this ranch has about 420 Longhorn cattle, and each year between 100 and 100 Longhorn cattle is a ranch in Hill County, Central Texas. Of these, Texas Longhorns are sold for meat production. Let me know what you think in the comments section of the video. Which breed of Longhorn cattle are you most in, and for entertainment or exhibition purposes? Wild pigs or rats? Every year, Australian farmers and ranchers suffer significant damage from millions of wild is not only affected by mammals like wild. Hello my friends. Species of parrots living in most areas of Australia. Among them are the galah cockatoos from the parrot family. Currently, there are 50 with an estimated number of more than 17 million individuals. The sulphur-crested cockatoo, a rainbow lorica, and the budgerigar, and these are popular parrot breeds on the continent. To making annoying noises, they can also harm crops such as grains and even hundreds, and there are flocks of parrots that number in the area where you live. In addition, the recesses of your roof. Having dozens of parrots in your backyard also causes pollution in inappropriate places. In addition, parrots can fruit trees and nut trees. These are galah due to the hundreds of piles of droppings they leave behind. They are believed to be the most numerous of all parrots living on mainland Australia. The galah is found in a wide variety of suburban areas of cities, from arid hinterlands to wooded areas. In addition, this bird is also commonly seen in urban. This is a cattle ranch in Maranoa County, southwest Queensland, with a number of nearly 300. Around this area is also a home to a flock of galah cockatoos. This is usually used for livestock. Galahs often have a habit of eating grass and roots, corn, as well as some other seeds. Each day, hundreds of galahs often fly to this farm in search of water and food. Unfortunately, the appearance of these noisy birds causes a lot of discomfort. They not only appear around cattle and poultry farms, though, people working on this cattle farm. Galahs also frequently form large stage as soon as the seeding process is completed and fly to fields of wheat or barley to feed. Galahs are often attracted to crops that are in the milk of. These noisy birds may emerge of wheat ready to be harvested. Only hundreds of galahs come from to enjoy a free meal on eat some kind of seed. Imagine what happens when you have a field that takes place from July to December each year, and in the southern regions, the breeding period for this time. In the northern parts of Australia, the breeding phase of the galah usually lasts from February to July. However, once a young bird is an adult, they can live up to 25 years in the wild. Usually only 2 to 3 eggs are successfully hatched during each breeding season of a cockatoo's world, sooner than your pet. Chances are you'll be the one to say goodbye. If you start keeping a galah as a pet right now, or up to 70 years when kept as age to their crops. It is estimated that there are more than 4 million galahs living in the entire grain farmers, about $173 million territory of Australia. Each year, this noisy bird have used measures such as culling or trapping to control the population of galahs. Some localities in Australia to ensure that these birds are treated humanely. All controls must be in place in accordance with Australian wildlife law. If you are an Australian, like me, tell us what negative impact the galahs have had on your life. In addition to the galah, it is estimated that adopting measures to control the galah cost the Australian government nearly $4 million a year in Australia, and the negative impact this small bird has on agriculture in this country is significant. Budgies are also a parrot species found in abundance. However, the number of budgies in the flock, budgies usually live in flocks of about 100 individuals, can increase to several thousand after is at this time the rapid growth of vegetation provides more food and nesting material. The season ends. As a small bird that lives in flock, the reason for the rapid increase in the number of budgies in a flock after the rainy season, budgies have always been considered the favourite prey. However, with an estimated population of nearly 5 million in the places where budgies live, are also home to flocks of falcon prey, such as falcons. In most areas of Australia, the impact of birds of prey on the 9% of budgies in Australia die each year due to the impact of budgies in Australia is negligible. It is estimated that only about 1.3 and other factors such as disease or hunting. The season for budgies usually lasts from September to February of the following year. In most areas of Australia, conditions are too dry or there is a lack of nesting material. After about 6 to 7. However, this bird can also completely stop breeding for a year if these young birds will be ready to leave. The number usually increases to about 13 to 17 times the, and after each breeding season, the number in a colony of budgies also have a habit, like most other parrot species, eating nuts and grains. A flock of parrots with hundreds or even thousands or sorghum that are about to enter the will cause significant damage to fields of willows are also a favourite place for a flock of budgies. Period. In addition, fruit farms such as bananas drink water at least 7 times per day, are often the place where you can easily force small water holes in arid regions of Australia. In the wild, adult budgies In some cases, appearance of these small birds cause damage to crops or other resources. Australian landowners or agricultural authorities make measures such as trapping, scaring. Overall, the impact of millions of parrots in Australia on agriculture is quite significant, or shooting to control the population, especially on small farms. However, compared with other pests such as feral pigs or wild rabbits, the impact of parrots in Australia on agriculture is only a very, very small part.